We're at the Jack London Cottage in Glen Ellen in Sonoma County, California, and I'm going to show you a couple of little rooms here. This one is sort of a office slash sleeping quarters. Well, this is sort of a little daybed that Jack London kept, along with some notes you see over here. And he slept apart from his wife Charmian at this cottage because he stayed up really late at night and woke up very early too. And the notes here say that he used to wake up by 6 days a week. He'd wake up by 5 a.m. at the very latest. And he wanted to get 1,000 words of writing in before his midday meal, and I think the day was pretty much done. And he had some assistants here who would keep, you see these, you see there's some notebooks here and some cigarettes and drinks and things like that. He had assistants who would keep him stocked with cigarettes, which he smoked all day, and notebooks and sharpened pencils and snacks and other things like that. He would sleep right here. He'd post up his notes here, and then he would handwrite his books, and his wife Charmian would type them up for him and also add some descriptions and such. She was a published author herself, and he'd keep his manuscripts in this huge safe right here. So of course at the time you couldn't just save things on a computer, so he wanted to make sure that he didn't lose things. You see this is the safe. And you see this is the rest of the office here. They've got a few desks in here, so he had quite a extensive. Another gramophone's going to play a little music for us. O Sole Mio. Nice. And so there's a few interesting quotes in him from here too. It says, "A good place to work if you have work to do." And it also mentions that Jack considered writing to be a profitable chore. He needed to write stories in order to make money to keep this place going, in order to build more and more acres here at this beautiful farm. It's a state park now, which has some beautiful trails and such as well too, and a museum. And so this place also used to keep a lot of their artifacts that they had from their travels around the world. He was inspired by Joshua Slocum, who sailed in a small boat around the world solo, and they bought this boat, a ketch, and they sailed it to Hawaii. And apparently he hired one of his relatives in order to navigate, who didn't know a lot about navigation, so it took him a long time to get to Hawaii, right, Leo? Mm-hmm. This is, I think this is where Charmian, his wife, slept. But he contracted a number of different illnesses, and he was ultimately, it was mercury that got into his kidney, I think, that killed him, right, John?
Yeah, that's what the docent said.
There's a docent here named Lou, and this is the sun porch where he died.
He smoked and drank a lot too.
Right.
Contributing factors.
But it was kidney failure, and there was the mercury treatment that he got on the Solomon Islands that probably killed him. And so he was only 40 years old when he died here, right in this sun porch area, and his wife Charmian died here many years later. He was 40, I think that's what I said, and died here in 1916. And his wife Charmian died in 1955 in the same room, the sun porch, and his sister-in-law, her sister, I suppose, also died right there in that same sun porch too. This is sort of one of the hallways. And I just want to show some of the spears. They used to keep a lot of from their travels in the Solomon Islands and the Pacific on that ship travel. They had spears and other artifacts here. And there's a great picture of Charmian with a bare assed native from the Solomon Islands here. And some other great artifacts. So, very cool place to visit. Just talks about how he likes to play practical jokes on people too, and he would drill holes in the walls, Jen, to pretend like there were earthquakes. Drill holes in the floors.
Yeah, and then pull these, see the ropes?
Yeah.
He would pull the rope through and jerk the bed across the room.
And so people would think there was an earthquake going on?
And he'd yell.
And he'd yell earthquake. Jack London, classic.